This past week I finished a great book called The Carpenter by John Gordon. Not the first John Gordon book I've ever read, and it won't be the last one I'll read either. Great book. They're small, easy to digest. This is written as a fable, so it's very easy to follow along story. And this was all about the greatest success principles of all times. I care a lot about success. I think most of us, when we wake up in the morning, we hope to be successful. We don't look to be average or to be failures. We want to be successful and to have a successful day. So I love to read about stories, books, those things that might challenge me to find ways to be more successful in what I do and to help others be more successful as I work with them. The Carpenter is all about kind of defining the difference between being a carpenter and a craftsman. And I want to read for you from the book one paragraph. A carpenter builds things. Obviously, we know that. That's what a carpenter does. A carpenter builds things. A craftsman creates a work of art. Very big difference there. While most people approach their work with the mindset that they just want to get it done, a carpenter, craftsmen are more concerned with who they are becoming and what they are creating, rather than how fast they finish the work. After all, it's no use finishing something that is not a work of art. Big difference between a carpenter and a craftsman. And I was definitely challenged when I read that, and I can think back to plenty of times in my life where I've chosen just to be a carpenter, just to get through something. I've committed to it. I've got to get through it. Maybe I'm not super passionate about it, but I've got to get the work done. Tracked my junior year. I was a carpenter at best in my work ethic. I didn't want to really do it after I got my picture made in the yearbook. So plenty of times like that in my life where I just chose to get the work done as not as best I could, but as quickly as I could to get it over with. These days I'm much more of a craftsman, and I'm certainly in my work and battle tested, always trying to make each event a work of art, to exceed the coach's expectations that hired me, to exceed the expectations of the student athletes that go through our programs. So certainly a craftsman in trying to continually be more successful in making each event a work of art. How are you doing? Are you that student athlete listening to this? Are you making sure each practice you're approaching as a craftsman, trying to get the most out of every opportunity you have to get better, to give your best? If you're in a leadership role on your team, are you doing the same thing, right? Trying to make sure every relationship that you get to be a part of there is a work of art, not just trying to get by or to do the bare minimum to be a leader. Are you really giving it your absolute best? If you are beyond playing in organized sports, perhaps you're a coach, business leader, parent, are you someone that is approaching your work as a craftsman, doing your absolute best? Every day we have so many opportunities throughout the day to do things, to be in relationships, to do work. All these opportunities we have to put our best foot forward, to be as successful as possible, to give everything our all. Everything should be a work of art for us. Are we treating it like that? And that's a big challenge to say. It's a bigger challenge to do. A lot easier to say it than to do it, because we can't always be at our best, right? We're always going to have some times where perhaps we're getting to a funk and we're just not our best and not giving our best, not demanding the best of ourselves. But can you more and more try to be that craftsman versus just being a carpenter? I hope you were challenged by the writing of John Gordon as I was, and may we all go out there to strive to be greater craftsmen in what we do. Have a great week.